What's up, guys? So I came back from my locals again. I think I have something I want to say. So I made the assumption that playing a red leader would essentially put you back in this game, and I also made the claim that Dr. Miyu and Pan were the only decent red leaders coming into this format or playing when you're still playing this format. So after putting that claim to the test, I actually picked up another red leader. Um, and I saw this leader as very interesting because I'll tell you what it is. It was Vegeta. Um, Main reason I looked at this leader was because I looked at it and I previously thought that this was a watered down Pan, and it is in some cases. But when you look at only just the leader cards, you tend to only see the weakness uh, of the character, or the you only see the weakness of the functionality of the text, right? Uh, as I look deeper into the card that synergizes with this leader, I find that the synergy with the leader makes it very viable. Reason being is that I mentioned before in my Universe 6 discussion video, I think I can post a card right here in this link earlier, that you can play one drop cards that are from Universe 6 and 7, one drop Saiyan Universe 6 and 7, and he becomes then an non-interactive leader. What does this mean? So if I play a one drop, right, that has say only 5k stat, and I'm swinging with it, and I'm drawing a card, right, and I'm using this to attack a leader, right, and I'm drawing a card. This means that this leader essentially pluses without actually damaging the leader, right? Most of the weaknesses with decks that have to attack a leader and draw a card, you're plussing, but you're also putting yourself in a vulnerable situation with decks like Captain Ginyu, which which really shines when it goes to 4 or lower life because you can use Shugesh when you're playing against SSJ3 Goku, and you attack them from 6 to 5, and they use Kaba or anything to help self awaken. Then that leader becomes a very powerful leader in terms of attrition. So I needed to play a deck where I I pseudo interact with the board. So playing like one drops in this deck, um, especially with Teamwork Kaba, and another one I played was Ready to Fight Son Goku. These are two Universe 6 and 7 leaders because their stat here at 5 when swinging, this leader triggers the ability to draw a card. So this is kind of an interesting kind of an interesting thought because using something like this and attacking with these gives you a +2, right? These guys replace themselves if you're lucky, of course. Well, you don't have to be completely lucky, but just lucky enough to where they replace themselves with their own ability, and when they attack, they draw a card. So I basically built the deck around using these two fundamental, um, using two fundamental strategy, which is plussing, and not only plussing, but not when they do attack, they don't do any damage, and you're plussing more with this leader. So it forces them to awaken you in a sense because if they're not awakening you, you're gonna get infinite pluses anyway. So it's good for them to keep hitting your leader to where they can awaken you instead of you awakening them. That's the defining trait in this deck. Obviously, there's more strategies to this deck, which I found very nice. I liked it a lot. So I'll go on with the deck. So since I split it down two pathways, I have a Universe 6 package and I have a Universe 7 package. So I'm going to look at the Universe 7 package first. So let's look at the Universe 7 package. So to maintain board in this game, you have to maintain board control. So in order to maintain board control, I play two very prominent cards in this deck, and that is um, playing Bold Super Saiyan 2 Kalib, which I thought was one of the best Tournament of Power card to be printed in that set. Reason being is when she comes into play, I essentially look at the top 7 cards for any Universe 6 card with 15k or lower and put it on the board. This means with only one card, I was able to plus another card on the field. So if I'm able to reach into Kale, right, and she attacks, right, with this leader, I'm drawing 2 cards. So with 1 card, starting with this, I get Kale, right, and then I get an extra card. So this is a +2 again. This is a +2 scenario, and on top of that, I also play cards that board control, and this swarms. When I mean board control, I mean that you have more cards on the board than your opponent does. That's what I mean by board control. So I have this, and I drew a card. +2. Right, I started with this, I can get this. Kayla is not the only target I can get with her. I can also play, where's that card? I left it here somewhere. I can also play Impeccable Super Saiyan Kappa, right? This is actually one of the very good card, and the reason why is that it can attack active mode cards, and if you're Saiyan, if you're running a red Saiyan, he gets a +5, and on top of that, when he attacks, your opponent can't activate any counter cards. So really good counter cards like Nimbus Cloud can be activated in response to this guy's attack. And this ruins a lot of setup for a lot of decks. Decks like Apes, for example, use the setup of playing King Vegeta, and he has to survive on turn 3 for them to evolve. So what I did instead was, when I did play this, I swung into the Vegeta, and he became a 20k attack Kava in active mode. And on top of that, he's 20k, so that means they have to combo 10k to save their King Vegeta from this one card. And on top of that, when he is attacking, right, your leader is actually replacing him with the +1. So that's extremely fundamental in this matchup. So at face value, he is a watered down Pan, but since he synergizes so well with all the other cards, it makes him so decent. He actually makes him almost better than Pan. I'm not sure if he's better than Pan, but almost better than Pan. So you board control to where your opponent doesn't have anything that they can evolve off of with this card, which can be accessed with this card. So another card I play is Dauntless Kale. So the main reason why I play this is not because she's a blocker, but the fact that you could play her for free if you have a Caulifla. So I extended that a little bit further and decided to play Relentless Kale. So she's really good against veggies and apes. Reason being is because their stats are below 15,000 or below, right? So if you think about it, I'm playing her for free, right? And I evolved the same turn, which means it only costed me 4 energy to wipe out their whole board. Now you might be thinking, well, if they have barrier, what am I gonna do? Well, if the apes have barrier, what am I gonna do? So, good question. So what you need to do is find a way to clear King Vegeta appropriately, and the only way to do so is Mafuba. So in one of my games, I believe I Mafuba the King Vegeta, and then I played Kale for free because I had my Cauliflas, and I evolved it, and I cleared the other. I believe I cleared out 3 apes with this. It's ridiculous, like what she can do. And I can imagine, I didn't play against Veggies today, but I can imagine if I played Veggie and I played her, the whole board would be gone. Imagine being swarmed down by a bunch of cards. The whole board would be gone with Kale. Like, it's absurd. Just keep in mind this also affects your board too. So if you have other cards that isn't Kale or Khalifa, she wipes out everything. Actually, she only protects Khalifa. So if you have other cards that aren't Khalifa, she wipes them out as well. So she's kind of like a board wipe. Board reset in a way that isn't the conventional chain attack Xeno. So pretty cool. Of course, I do want to awaken this deck, so I do play the sister attack Khalifa, which takes a life and then double strike. So good card if you want to self awaken, and you don't want to play that game where you just stay at above 8 life or above 4 life. So pretty good. So I think that's all for the Universe 6 stuff. For the Universe 7 cards, I played, obviously, Ready to Fight, but I played 4 of these, so they fetch each other. But I also played these guys. Alright, so the reason why I played Piccolo was because I needed something against Victory Strike. So, if I had both Mafuba and Victory, Focus Mind Piccolo, that gave him more, obstacles to go over, so they're not automatically killing me. So that's why I played Piccolo. Plus, he's searchable scryable with Son Goku. So, other things I play is the Super Combo. Also a Saiyan, which is 12k, but There was some games where I did want to play him on the board and attack with it and draw a card with the Vegeta ability. So, pretty cool. Cool synergy. And the fact that you can play this at 5 or less life makes him even more better. Let's see. So the main weapon, I only played one of this. I couldn't figure out why I put it in the deck. I might drop him later, but he is a blue card that you could charge for energy for Mafuba and Objection. So that's the main reason why I played him in this deck. And he's a Saiyan, but I never really used him. You could technically use him to look at the top 7 and then put him into play and attack. In the last Universe 7, or Universe 7 was this really good synergy with the counterattack. Not the counterattack, the impeccable Kaba. So there was games where I could attack with him, play this, restand this, attack again. They can never have countered any of the attack, and he gets triple strike. And the cool thing about it is every time he attacks, so even if he restands somehow by an effect like this, he gets another 5k for the duration of the turn, not for the battle. So the first time he attacks, he goes to 20. The second time he attacks, well, he gives him plus 10. The second time he's attacking, he's going for 3,500. 35,000. And they can't counter. That's lethal. And it's triple strike too. He gives himself triple strike, so you can finish off games with just these two. I think that's all for the Universe 7. I played one of this. I just wanted to see what it would be like. Technically, it is a card that you can use to avoid Shigesh Explosive or Shigesh and Kale or whatever. So I played one. It turned out to be okay because it works until the end of the turn. But I'm still experimenting with this. To interact with some on barrier cards, I talked about how great Mafuba is. You can play Mafuba. It's a blue-red deck, so you can play Mafuba in this. If you want to be faster than the SJ3, you have to play Objection. There's no way you can't. You can't dish out so many threats in the turn, so you have to play Objection. I'll have the deck list later in the description. Played an M2 just to disrupt. I don't want to have people evolving cards on top of theirs, so I use this to kill their 5Ks, and it made sense. And plus, it also caused them to use more defense for blocking. And last is Senzu Bean and Messing, just for more veggie hate and stuff like that. So that's pretty much all the deck. Everything's just multiplied by a factor of 4 or 3. So I'll have the deck list in the next segment of this video, and then I'll have my matchups and speed up. Really cool deck. I went second place. Sorry to mention, but I went second place with the deck, and I played 2 Apes, 1 chain attack deck, and well, it's not a cell chain, but I played a deck that played Android 13 in it, Super Android 13. So pretty cool. Hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile and my locals challenge. Peace.
Everything you said we already knew, more or less.
Well, here's something that you didn't know. 2 of those special atomic bombs haven't gone off.
guy, you could treat me right. Way oh, way oh, oh. Boy, take a chance, will you let me ride? Way oh, oh. I could be the best thing in your life. Way oh, oh. You got me singing. Way oh. You look like a guy, you could treat me right. Way oh. Boy, take a chance, will you let me ride? Way oh. I could be the best thing in your life. Way oh. Maybe let's take a drive, take a drive. Take a drive.
next corner. You never know what's around the next corner. So. You never know what's around the next corner.